Aaron Rodgers will be in the AFC North this season, but Cleveland Browns fans can take comfort in knowing it's likely just a short stay. The future Hall of Famer signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers earlier this offseason, hoping to cap his career with one final run. Rodgers, 41, spent 18 seasons with the Green Bay Packers, where he racked up 4 NFL MVP awards and a Super Bowl title, before an ill-fated 2-year stint with the New York Jets. His decision to join the Steelers gives Pittsburgh a proven veteran at quarterback, but it's not one Cleveland will have to contend with beyond 2025. "Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is it," Rodgers said on the Pat McAfee show on Tuesday. "That's why we just did a 1-year deal. Steelers didn't need to put any extra years on that or anything, so this was really about finishing with a lot of love and fun and peace for the career that I've had. I played 20 freaking years. It's been the long run. I've enjoyed it, and no better place to finish than in one of the cornerstone franchises of the NFL with Mike Tomlin and a great group of leadership and great guys in the city that expects you to win." Rodgers wants to empty tank with Steelers. Rodgers' 2 seasons with the Jets left much to be desired. His first year in New York ended before it truly began, as he ruptured his Achilles on opening night without completing a single pass. The following season didn't go as planned either. The Jets finished 5-12, missed the playoffs, and fired head coach Robert Saleh. Rodgers completed 63% of his passes for 3,897 yards, 28 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. Rodgers said the disappointing stint didn't factor into his decision to return for another season. "It's not really, I can't go out like this," he said. "I love the game, and there's been a beautiful relationship. It was my first love when I was 6 years old, dreaming about playing quarterback and being in the Super Bowl and winning in the Super Bowl. I wanted to be there for mini camp once I decided I was going to be all in, but I didn't need this. I didn't need it at all. I'm going to give the Steelers everything that I got and empty the tank and be super comfortable and satisfied with whatever happens." Browns focused on their own QB situation. The Browns don't have a lot of bandwidth to worry about other quarterback situations within the division. Cleveland's own depth chart remains unsettled as training camp approaches, with a 4-way competition that includes veterans Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett, along with rookies Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel. General Manager Andrew Berry and head coach Kevin Stefanski have emphasized patience as they evaluate the group, declining to name a starter or establish a depth chart. The Browns and Steelers will face off for the first time on October 12th. Of several ongoing contract extension disputes around the NFL in late June, one in particular continues to impact the Pittsburgh Steelers. Veteran linebacker/edge TJ Watt remains without a deal following the conclusion of OTAs. Watt had grown frustrated with the lack of movement on this front and proceeded to hold out from mandatory minicamp earlier this month. Despite a slight dip in his production last season, the 30-year-old defensive star remains a force for the Steelers' front seven. But the Steelers are navigating a major hurdle. Most notably, Myles Garrett's previous record extension has thrown a wrench into the framework Pittsburgh anticipated a few months ago. His extension pays out an average of $40 million per year, the most in league history for a non-quarterback. There's a chance Watt may want a contract of a similar nature. To best work around that massive number while keeping Watt happy, Chris Adamski of the Pittsburgh Tribune-Review encouraged some creativity from the Steelers' end. "I think what they'll probably do is find a way to creatively make the average annual value maybe look $41 million or $40 million and a half or $40 million and $1, Adamski said on the KDKA Sports Showdown. "And then you can creatively void years or non-guarantees, things like that. You can make it so everybody sort of wins, where TJ gets to say he is the highest-paid defensive player. And the Steelers maybe don't commit to 5 years and everything else. There's a lot of accounting tricks out there in the salary cap world. When these matters hit a wall, sometimes creative thinking can help exercise some flexibility from both parties." The Steelers are working against other teams, including the Dallas Cowboys, who are trying to progress toward an extension for Micah Parsons. Regardless, the goal is to get Watt on the field. Pittsburgh has enough tools to put out a competent unit, but this group loses its edge quite literally without Watt involved. The relationship remains a positive one from both sides, so hopefully they make some progress before training camp begins in July. If the Steelers were to sign Mike Hilton, it would bear minimal risk. At this stage, he could be looking at a veteran salary benefit contract, so not much at stake there. And considering some of the random names they already have at cornerback, what could it hurt? The Steelers really could use another veteran slot defender, and Hilton is the prototype they keep searching for. He is no longer at the top of his game, but there's no harm in kicking the tires. If he still has something left in the tank, then great. If he doesn't have it anymore, then let him go. The thing is, along the way, Mike Hilton could be valuable to the Steelers' young cornerbacks, like Beanie Bishop Jr. Bishop is the most recent cornerback the Steelers have in the Mike Hilton program. He might as well learn from first-hand experience, then. There is a reason the Steelers are not the only team that is not signing Mike Hilton right now. He is a free agent because teams watched him last year and saw that he doesn't have it anymore. Pass coverage was never his strength, but now he is a real liability there. If a team brought him in, it would be as a small linebacker, essentially. While the Steelers could use another veteran in the slot, a Hilton reunion doesn't help them. Even though they shouldn't have let him walk in 2021, that doesn't mean they should bring him back for years older. At 27, yes, keeping him would have made sense, but the 31-year-old version would just occupy a roster spot. The Steelers are building toward the 2025 season, following yet another disappointing year. While they reached the playoffs, they once again lost decisively in the first round. They are facing questions, both publicly and perhaps privately as well. Questions about the standard and what the Steelers stand for. The rookie class of a year ago was successful, but they need to step up into staple starters in 2025. And they need everyone healthy to do it, not an insignificant consideration. They needed a strong influx of talent in both free agency and in the 2025 NFL draft yet again. These sorts of uncertainties are what we will address in our Buy or Sell series. In each installment, we will introduce a topic statement and weigh some of the arguments for either buying it, meaning that you agree with it or expect it to be true, or selling it, meaning you disagree with it or expect it to be false.